Howdy folks, Jambareeqi here, and welcome to the Halloween 2016 special episode of Jambareeqi Reviews. This year, I'm going to review Laika's Paranorman. Paranorman is a stop-motion horror centered on a boy called Norman, who has the power to talk to the dead. Everyone in his town alienates him for talking to people they can't see, except an upbeat boy called Neil, who is impressed by Norman's paranormal ability. One day, Norman starts witnessing strange illusions representing the past. His spooky visions seem to be warning him of what's ahead, which turns out to be an apocalyptic rage caused by the ghost of a witch called Agatha. To make things worse, the ones responsible for Agatha's execution have risen from the dead. The townsfolk respond to this by forming an angry mob, which just adds to the chaos. Can Norman use his gift to stop all this madness? Paranorman is a film about breaking expectation. It sets out to state that not everything is all black and white, that it's important to look at everything at different angles, and that fear leads to poor understanding. The movie cleverly juxtaposes bigotry from the past with Norman's treatment in modern society, to show how dangerous and unjust it is for Norman's town to alienate him. The return of the past becomes a learning experience for the people in Norman's life. It's a very sophisticated way of both developing characters and putting a message across. At the same time, the film shows the audience themselves that there's more to people than what we see on the surface. You can't quickly judge a character in this film because we'll soon learn that there's more to them. Paranorman goes to great lengths to humanize all of its characters, to support its message of understanding. The movie isn't out to shame or guilt trip anyone. It wants to encourage people to be more open-minded about those around them. That's an incredibly peaceful and constructive motive for a children's movie. Adding to the film's uplifting positive message is its incredibly effective horror. Children's horror is a tough genre to pull off because you have to be both scary and keep the young audience in mind. Laika knows who is watching Paranorman, and they take advantage of this by creating a unique balance of goofy black comedy and chilling terror. The filmmakers are aware that there are children out there who love a good scare, but aren't old enough for grown-up horror yet. So they give young horror fans some satisfyingly disturbing moments, but follow them up with funny lines or slapstick, to avoid overwhelming junior horror hounds. I'm going to give 5 points to the content. Norman is a fantastic protagonist. Instead of seeing his gift as a burden, he embraces it passionately like a hobby. I love this because it shows how adaptable and open-minded he is. He also has a sweet heart, shown by how much empathy he expresses towards the dead he meets. Sure, he could be harshly distant towards those around him, but who can blame him considering how people treat him? Neil is a lovely boy, a plump, optimistic lad who is always jolly and friendly despite how cruel other kids are to him. Neil's naive innocence leads to plenty of solid comedy and helps round him into a likeable, funny character. Courtney, Norman's older sister, is your stereotypical teenage American girl, self-absorbed, moody, and mean to her little brother. Although, like I said, characters are all black and white in this movie. When pushed to extremes, Courtney will step in and speak up if something seems wrong to her, so she's not as shallow or stupid as we might assume at first. She does have a spine and conscience deep down. Alvin is a mean-spirited punk who bullies Norman, but he's not your cliché bully character. Once a supernatural threat enters his life, Alvin suddenly shifts gears and sees the gifted Norman as his protector. He's actually a very insecure chap, and this surprisingly humanizes him enough to make him a likable and funny character. Mitch, Neil's older brother, is a well-built but dim-headed guy. However, he's not a mean jock or anything along those lines. He shows concern for his little brother, he always tries to do the right thing, and he's fully aware that he's not the brightest bulb in the box. I admire his sincere self-awareness. Now, Courtney spends most of the movie trying to win the affection of Mitch, but he completely ignores all of her advances. I won't spoil anything, but I respect the reason why. It breaks a stereotype and fits the film's message of don't judge a book by its cover. Agatha is first presented as your conventional pointy-nosed witch, but we soon learn that she's actually a vulnerable little girl who was brutally executed for having a paranormal gift. Agatha serves as a character for Norman to resonate with, helping him to see what he could turn into if he becomes vengeful towards his peers. We also feel sorry for Agatha, as we sympathize with what happened to her. It's really heartbreaking. Norman's parents share an interesting dynamic. While his dad is temperamental and close-minded, his mum is timid and very forgiving. This leads to a compelling clash of personalities. Like the rest of the characters, the supernatural experience that the town faces helps Norman's parents develop an understanding of Norman's gift. The zombies of the folks who judged and executed Aggie are brilliant. They're a wonderful mix of sympathetic, intimidating and goofy. They provide plenty of slapstick antics and present themselves as potentially threatening. But as we learn more about them, we also kind of feel forgiving towards them despite what they did. We can tell that they feel guilt-ridden and aware of their mistakes, so a part of us wishes them peace. I'm going to give 5 points to the characters. The animation for Paranorman is amazing. I wouldn't expect anything less from such stop-motion geniuses as Laika. There's so many standout examples of what the studio can achieve, like the scene of Norman trying to break free an important book from the grip of his dead uncle's hands. Just look at how much care, intelligence and thought has been put into the weight and physics of this scene. Every frame has a sense of pace and a well-executed principle of animation. The characters also have wonderfully exaggerated, quirky designs, which help justify the use of animation to tell the story and give the characters powerfully expressive and readable faces. I mean, look at the eyes of the judge's zombie. They look so sad. Plus, the characters' movements are expertly timed, with an understanding of visual communication. It's all stellar stop-motion character animation. Sure, CGI effects are spliced in with the stop-motion, but you know what? That's fine. I'm not going to get cynical and expect Laika to rely 100% on their trademark animation technique. Because stop-motion has its limitations. I know this fully well as someone who has made stop-motion projects before. I've seen what can or cannot be done, and can understand why Laika would turn to computers for some ideas. What matters is the end result in the film, and the animation for Paranorman is outstanding. It's energetic, packed with a wide range of emotions, and the visuals are consistently gripping. Cody Smith-McPhee voices Norman, and he is magnificent in the role. He wonderfully portrays him as both energetically passionate and sympathetically lonely.
Good morning. Hey Bruce, how's it going? Not much, I'm kinda late for school. I need to go. Hi, nice to see you guys. Good morning. Sorry, I gotta run. Oh, excuse me, pardon me. See ya.
Tucker Albrizzi voices Neil, and he is adorably bubbly in the role. He just sounds so charmingly chipper.
Norman, wait up! I keep telling you, Neil. I like to be alone. So do I. Let's do it together. You shouldn't let them get you down. They always do stuff like that to me. Why? Because I'm fat, and my allergies make my eyes leak. And I sweat when I walk too fast. And I have a lunchbox with a kitten on it.
Anna Kendrick voices Courtney. She nails the voice of a whiny teenager and really taps into the thought process of her character.
So I said to her, girl, come back and talk to me when your basket toss gets 12,000 hits on YouTube. Yeah, no, I said that. Yeah, I'm stuck on Lane Patrol. Tonight's gonna be a total yawn. Ah! Norman! You better not be singing out, you little weirdo!
Casey Affleck voices Mitch. He performs every line with a lack of instinct or intelligence. It's a superb comedic performance.
Did you see that?
That was insane.
I know, right? I kicked that like 100 yards!
Christopher Mintz-Plasse voices Alvin. Christopher is best known for playing very dorky nerds, but it's this knack for insecure characters that is perfect for someone like Alvin.
Ooh, what you got there, Geekula?
No, give it back!
Oh, can't wait to see everybody's faces when they hear about this one.
No, don't! Alvin!
Hey, nobody makes me miss out on a possible date with a girl that almost had some interest in talking to me. Yeah? Thought so. You got nothing to say.
Uh-oh.
Leslie Mann and Jeff Garlin voice Norman's parents, really immersing themselves in their characters' distinct personalities with so much gusto and conviction.
I know you and Grandma were very close, but we all have to move on. Grandma's in a better place now.
No, she's not. She's in the living room.
Your grandmother was old and sick, and she died. That's all there is to it.
Okay, Harry, this is just part of the mourning process.
Oh, stop indulging him.
Jodelle Ferland voices Agatha, and she is spellbinding. You can really hear her character's pain and anger in every line read.
I burnt the book into dust. Now I don't have to listen to that stupid story anymore!
Leave me alone.
Bernard Hill is heartbreaking as the judge. There's so much sadness and guilt in his voice.
I believed we were doing what was right. I was wrong. Now this is our punishment.
I'm going to give 5 points to the voice acting. The music in Paranorman combines dramatic orchestra, quirky sounds and spooky 80s synth to create an impressively unique score that completely fits. Every time there's a creepy scene, the music supports the tension with anxious build-up or unnerving ambience. The horror truly exceeds thanks to this. But remember, this movie isn't just about scares. There's plenty of comforting pieces for soothing scenes or tender compositions to accompany dramatic moments. The horror music sounds noticeably sharp and unsettling because it's intruding on music that's made us feel secure. That is how you arrange a score for a movie like this. I'm going to give 5 points to the music. To conclude, I think that Paranorman is a scary and funny feast of horror with a delightfully positive message about being forgiving and open-minded. Another masterpiece from the geniuses at Laika. Paranorman has gained 25 points, which translates to 5 zombie strawberries out of 5. If you enjoy such films as Coraline or The Goonies, then I think you'll love Paranorman. I've been Jambareeqi and I hope you enjoyed my review. Sorry for still sounding like I've got a frog caught in my throat. So, what am I going to review in the next episode of Jambareeqi Reviews? Well, that's up to you. I've linked a poll in the description box below. I'm very excited to find out what film you want me to review next. Cheerio, folks.